guys, Steve here for Who Took My Dice Miniature Wargaming. How's it going? It is Monday. Time for the second episode of the Sons of Russ and Guilliman. Basically, this is a series, if you haven't seen the first one, where I'm going to be going over the construction of my new construction, the painting, so the tactics, the reason why I'm choosing these, basically everything about my new Ultramarines / Space Wolf army. And so each week I'll be showing off what I've gotten done the week before and how I'm progressing. So this week was a lot about building mostly. Nothing new infantry wise. However, I did notice with these two Marines from the tactical squad, I forgot to paint on the tactical signs. They're missing there. They got the Ultramarine symbol on one shoulder, but no tactical signs on the other shoulder. So I gotta paint those on. I'll do that. But the major part, I'm doing my paint station. I built up. I talked about it last week. I showed the parts. I built up this bad boy. Isn't that beautiful? That is my plasma obliterator. Now that was a build. If I go into real detail about it, it was. Oh, was it a rough build? And I found out some other things as building it, but it was a rough build. It is not an easy model to put together for a number of reasons. If I take it apart here, this part, on the entirety of it, it was just very difficult to put together. Things just didn't want to seem to fit properly. Part of that is the mold. The molds themselves, there's got to be issues there. Just the way it came out. It's a very thick plastic, very, very thick. But, I mean, this part, even here, there was issues. You can see there's lots of little gaps in there, everywhere pretty much. Even things, if you look, the eagle, it's hard to sell, is a little off. And that's just the way it is. The entire thing, everything's just a little bit off. So that can itself was pretty hard to put together. This was the big beast. I don't know why they decided to make it so many pieces. If you look right in here, there's this platforms in between. That's 4 separate pieces. Then you have each one of these skeleton statuettes here, these facades. They're also a separate piece. Yeah, those go together. Then they attach around the central core, and then this part goes on top. These also go in these. There's these separators, I guess, and then you have the gun ports here, because the troops can go in here. None of it fit together properly. Nothing is really flush. Some of these, even when they dried crooked. I put them in straight, they dried crooked. These spikes here I found as I went through, all of them are straight out. These ones are actually bent, and it's not any pressure. They literally came out of the mold that way. So there's some definite issues. It's a fantastic model still. Once it's all painted, and when you're looking at it from the 3-foot rule, basically you're about 3 feet away from your models, it's going to look fantastic. It's a little off kilter. Like even the base here, when I put that together, there's still gaps in there, mostly because the mold is not tight in any way, shape, or form. There's little gaps in there I'm going to have to fill in with the liquid green stuff. It's kind of disappointing because it looks fantastic, but it just, when you cut it off, you try fitting pieces together, they just don't mesh properly. It was kind of an annoyance. So it was a beast of a build. It's done now. I'm going to paint it up, get it all done. This is actually going to be part of the army. This is going to be one of the cool little things I can add on the battlefield, a little fortification. You can put troops in there. There are rules for it that come with the box. And the can itself is pretty nasty, pretty powerful. But yeah, so that was the build for this week, and that was a pain in the butt to do. If I had to do it over again, I might try and build things a bit differently. It worked out in the end. But yeah, just not the best build I've ever had the fortune of doing. Definitely going to keep it. Would do it again. It wasn't that bad. It's definitely a cool piece. Now it's built, it looks absolutely amazing. When you look at it from far away, you don't really notice those issues. But my friend was right when he told me, yeah, you're gonna have to take your time with it, and I did. It is a nasty build. Things do not go well together on it. But enough of that thing. So that is the building portion. That is pretty much all I get done in the army. Um, Basically, I just want another fortification for it. I have the Imperial Bastion, which is cool in its own way. But this one is just it's just awesome. This massive cannon, that backing my Ultramarines and Space Wolves is going to be devastating. It's going to be awesome. Risky to use. It still has suffers from gets hot. If you want to use it on its own, it's fine. You put guys in there though, and this thing overheats, they can actually take damage. Basically, just I guess the superheated plasma leaking in or exploding or whatever. It's not good to be in there when this thing overheats. Part of me wonders why I'm taking it too, because I have absolutely horrid luck with plasma weapons of any kind. Ask anybody I've ever played. The first turn, I always start off shooting with plasma. I just want to get out of the way. And invariably, there's one guy who just dies first turn. He aims with a plasma pistol, plasma gun, plasma cannon, whatever. Boom, done, finished, gone. He's kaput, done. It's a big laugh. It's sort of my running joke when it comes to Warhammer 40,000. Plasma and I do not get along. So why I built this, who knows? It's fun. It's exciting. Hopefully I'll have better luck with it. Plus, it just looks cool. Even if you don't use it, it is a really nice piece to have on the table. It is 100% in your face Imperial awesomeness. Lots of spikes. Of course, lots and lots and lots and lots of skulls. There are skulls on literally everything. I don't even know how many skulls there are. Lots of skeletons. Lots of cool stuff dying all over this thing. And there's also lots of Imperial iconography and all that. You got the Reaper, I guess, the skeleton holding the Imperial sword. So that was that again. That's a lot of fun. All right, so now I'm just going to. I need a detail brush. Just gonna finish this up. I forgot to put the Imperial or the tactical squad symbol on here, and that is silly because I always do that. It's on the other three because it comes with the actual molded onto the miniature from the paint set. Now, the other thing I want to say right now, I usually say at the end of my video, I'm going to say at the beginning now, guys, in next week, along with this Monday video, I am going to be doing a Q&A, right? So please send me any questions you have whatsoever, whether it doesn't matter what it's about, anything you want, just send me those questions along, and whatever aspect of my life, what I think about whatever, hobby related, not hobby related, it's all cool. Just send it to me, and I will answer it. Put it in the link below or the comments below, and just throw in whatever question you want, and I'll give you my best answer. So, just getting the paint here now. When I do the my tactical markings, I always like to do 2 diagonal lines and then cross it, sort of give it a roof. I do that, and then I fill it in with the gray or black first, and then I put the white over top of that. So I'm just going to start with one line here and one line here. And then I'm going to cross it like that. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm also not really good at freehand stuff. It's one of my weaknesses. I've never been really good at freehand. I don't know why. I always try and get better at it, but it's not something that I am really well adapted to, unfortunately. So yeah, so there you go. So that's one arrow done. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard to see. It's kind of melding in. That's one sort of done. And let's get a little bit more water in there. I do like the old base paints here. The problem is they dry out way too quick sometimes, I feel. Just gonna keep adding water. So I'm adding the next arrow. And there's the second one. I don't know if you can see that. Light in my house isn't the best. Yeah, so there's the second one. All right, so I'm gonna give that a second to dry up. The next thing, I still have to go out and get some super glue because I do have 5 more models I'm gonna be adding to it. I'll show those off when I got them built. They're because they're metal, they're old school metal. Fit kind of perfectly in with sort of what I want for this army, being it's around the time of the 13th Crusade. The Ultramarine Space Wolves teaming up. Went over what happened to Katie in the last one. So if you want to know kind of what happened without reading the books, I give a little bit of a spoiler there. Bad things happen, and even I think today Games Workshop put out another new trailer. They're doing trailers now. It's crazy. A little sneak peek. What's happening next, and it looks like it's going to involve the Eldar. So maybe we'll see some heroes. Maybe we'll see what happened to what's his name? I had it to crap. What's his name? Eldar dude from Wolfway. You know what I mean? Him. He was in Death Mask. I'll remember Eldrad. There it is. Eldrad. I'll probably see what happened to him after the whole Death Mask thing. That if you've never read around that, that's a fantastic game because it gave you a whole bunch of Harlequins, a whole bunch of the Death Watch, and a new Eldrad, which is fantastic. We need a new Eldrad. The old one was just old, like really old. The cool thing about that is what Eldrad was willing to do in order to help defeat Slaanesh and put a bit of a hole in Chaos's the collective Chaos plan. He lied to his own people. He's willing to sacrifice billions of Imperial souls, all in order to help to bring about the birth of the Eldar god of death, which is kind of one of their only hopes left in their sort of what's left of their race, is bringing about, since their other gods are all dead, except for the Howling, not the Howling, the Harlequin. Sorry, it's been a long weekend. The Harlequin god. It's Gregorak, or I can never pronounce the name. There needs to be something. You need to come out and just say, "Hey guys, this is how you pronounce all the names," because it's tough, some of them, until you hear them. But I mean, that was cool. That was getting closer. All these things led up to this, right? The Death Mass was one of them. We had to see where that's where they brought in a new Imperial army in the Death Watch. They got their own codex right after that. Gave them sort of a fleshed out. They were always there in the background. I remember ages ago in the White Dwarf, they actually had a listing for how you made your Death Watch Space Marines, and they always had the bits for it. But it was cool that they got their own book, but that was part of it. And then obviously everything in with Traitors Hate and Angel Blade was the start of that, and the Warzone Fenris stuff. Basically, all these plans, Chaos's plans, coming to fruition. Really bad stuff happening. Not very good time to be an Imperial player. Well, now we're gonna get to see the Eldar side of it, which should be pretty cool. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in what I just painted, gray, and I'm gonna do that white now. Try and give myself a good coverage here. And there you go. So we have a nice little tactical symbol on there. Let that dry up. I got some white on my hand. Yeah, so now we're gonna see what happens to the Eldar, where they're, what's gonna happen to them. And maybe we'll get a little bit more on who that character is, who helped the Imperials escape Cadia. They escaped through the webway with that character, so we'll see what happens there. I have a feeling, now this is just my theory on the whole thing, because he kind of stands out. People are saying, "Oh, it's Dark Eldar, it's Eldar, could be an Exodite." I was looking at the picture of this character. He does have some rather old-looking armor. It doesn't fit into the classic vein of the Eldar, right? And it also, because it's too sharp, right? Too pointy. Theirs is all smoothed out. It's also not in the classic vein of the Dark Eldar. There's not really a lot of spikes on it. It's not covered in flesh and bone and wicked hook barbs. Plus he's got that cloak. It looks like feathers and all. It tends to be not a Dark Elder thing. Usually their cloaks are made out of flesh. Just look at the Archon model. His entire cloak is made of stitch flesh. I have a feeling come this point, and I also don't think it's an exodite. It just seems weird. The fact that it's supposed to be the 13th Black Crusade, we're looking at the end times. Primarchs are coming. Cadia is gone. It's completely wiped out. Um, Living Saints, heroes, the triumvirate of the Imperium is there. I have a feeling, this is just my theory though, he could be an Eldar from the Black Library. Now I know that's the sort of the realm of the Harlequins, but it has been known that other people have been there. There was an Imperial Inquisitor who went there, who Ehrman was after for a long time back in the old version of the fluff. I don't know if he was retconned out or, um, but he could be an Eldar that is maybe that old, 10,000 years old. Who knows? Eldrad certainly is. It's not unheard of, but maybe that guy. That's why his armor is different. It could be an old style of armor that was there before the split of their species, where they had the Eldar that deprived themselves of one path at a time, or the Dark Eldar who kept their hedonistic ways. He could be somewhere in the middle ground, someone who saw it was coming and helped found the Black Library or helped protect it over the 10,000-year period. And it could be him that helped them out. This could be another character, someone who realizes just how bad this is and has stepped in finally to try and help. That's just my theory. I don't have any names to it, uh, but it makes sense to me. Also, with what Games Workshop showed about on one of their Warhammer TV, one of their paint, how to paint things, they had this little Eldar lynx type creature that was on sort of an oval base. So maybe this guy's riding. Maybe he is an exodite. Maybe he's riding in on some sort of mount because it looks like a mount base, and this is just like a familiar or something with him. Who knows? That's just my theory. So there you go. There's 2 more arrows done, so it matches. I am really happy with these guys. Really, really happy. And then this bad boy, it's going to get primed in 3 different stages when I get to it. So the cannon is going to be 1, and I'm going to have to be careful not to get too much paint on the inside, so this still functions without. And then, of course, this part will get its own, sort of the main body, and where the troops go will be in here. Get its own sort of its own paint job, and then the base will get one as well. Now there is, again, I said it probably won't be this week. It most likely will be at another point. I have to go out and actually buy primer. I ran out. Mine failed a little while ago. Went nothing. So yeah. And the other cool thing about this is actually deep enough you can actually put the guys in there and put the model over top of them. That's what I like. I actually tried it out with the Marine here. I put them in there, and yeah, it fits right over them, no problem. No scratching anything. Well, you can store your models in them for once. And then, but yeah, so that'll be the next step. We get this guy up. I'm going to be getting super glue this week, just so I can get those last 5 guys done up. Well, last for now to like pick up what was it? So it was a long week and I'm tired. Kids were sick and all. A lot of fun. And when I get the Thunderwolf in, not Thunderwolf, Stormwolf, and I believe that's it. That transport for the Blood Claws, and I also have to get the drop pod for these guys done. So that'll hopefully be over the next week. I'll get some more Marines done, maybe get that drop pod done, and I'll try and get this primed up if I can go get out, find the time to actually get the primer, and I'm going to definitely get the super glue so I can finish up the last 5 models that I have. That is going to be a cool add-on. It's fluffy. It makes sense with what's going on. But that's it for this week. Just a quick one. Last week was really busy with school. Lots to do, orientation, all that, get everything back into flow. Lots to do the first couple weeks, kind of eases off and then gets big in the middle. And so, but yeah, as I said before, guys, please send questions. I'd love to hear from you guys. I really do. Send me anything you want, even if it's comments, whatever. But yeah, I really appreciate when you guys write to me. I love all the comments. It's fantastic. I love the fact that it's all been positive, and I really appreciate that. So, I haven't said this in a while. I probably should. Guys, if you like what you saw, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. It means more than you know. When I see that number go up, it means I've reached someone else. I've been able to help someone else, or just make someone's day a bit brighter, a bit more fun, fill them with some more hammer joy. But yeah, guys, please subscribe, share, like, and until next time, guys, I'll see you around. Bye.